on this track, fam.
Welcome back to another episode of the Crossovr podcast. We have an awesome episode in store for you guys today. We're sitting down with NFL wide receiver, model, and entrepreneur Marcus Peterson. Marcus, it's such a pleasure to have you. How you doing, man?
Good. Thank you guys for having me.
For sure. So I know we have a little bit of a short time window here, so I want to get right into it. So do you want to tell us about your brand? I want to know how you got the inspiration for this idea.
Yeah, so after undergrad, I went to school in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Excuse me, that's where I went to undergrad. And then after that, I didn't get drafted or anything, but I had a workout with the Cleveland Browns. So after that, I didn't get signed. I had some great reviews from there. So I had to go get some film. And what I did was I got an opportunity to move to where I was playing and also getting my MBA in global business finance. But my main goal was to go out there and, establish more of a personal brand and also like an international brand as well. So not just to be known for just in a small LA market. But what I did was after I did that for a full year and I was able to travel and network and things of that nature, I wanted to become more because I knew that, selling and personal branding was so huge. So after I got more insight from Jacksonville and the Chargers, I knew that, clothing line was a big thing. So I met with David Messler, who is like a huge entrepreneur out here. So we did like a playbook podcast and I launched it on there. And that was about a month before I signed with the Chargers. But I waited because I knew timing was everything. So I wanted to come out with 3 personal brand mantras was like 100% focus on plan A, prove yourself right, and also stay persistent. So it's been going pretty well. And those are the inspirational mantras that helped me, obviously. Like 100% focus on plan A. My plan A was to make it to, the NFL. And then staying persistent where, I didn't get invited to the combine or get drafted or anything, but I stayed persistent of going to another country or getting more film and just, staying persistent within that year and a half from undergrad, postgrad to the NFL. And also proving myself right of understanding that, naysayers might say some things and people might not believe in you, but once you channel that energy and proving yourself right, it just makes everything worthwhile and it just takes your energy and your possibilities for your goals to the next level. Well, that's what it did for me.
For sure. So why did you choose to go to the UK for business school?
So basically with that, so after the Browns, after the workout, they said I did really good. I just needed to get more film. And I was working here at USC after just like a summer job here at USC, which is University of Southern California. Just like a little leasing consulting job. And I was going to get fired from there. And then it was just like, I need to do something. So I got a Facebook message, and there was an opportunity from a coach. And I didn't know that they had football overseas. Obviously, when I was younger, I heard of like NFL, Europe. But I had a good friend that graduated before me who went to the same school as me, and he went to Germany and played. So that's the only reason why I understood that there was football in Europe. Oh, wow. So I got a Facebook midnight here. Do you want to come play here? But the only thing is, if you play, you have to go to school to church. So since you just finished your undergrad, you had to. So I was like, I've never been to England. I, obviously wanted to get my postgraduate, might as well at age 24. And it was just a new chapter. And I like new chapters. I like being a new kid. I like new experiences.
For sure.
How was it transitioning to playing American ball to UK ball?
It was very humbling. It was different because the culture is way different. I'd measure it to the way we treat American football here and there would be how we would treat soccer here in America versus in Europe. Like in Europe, they eat, breathe, sleep like soccer is a religion. There's such a huge thing because it's like passed on generations of, talent and things of that nature. So I'd say it's comparable to that as far as like taking it serious because it's a new sport for some of the guys in the UK. Like it's more of a hobby. You see it on TV, things of that nature, so they try it. But here it's more of we love the competitiveness and we understand that the sport has been around for so long.
Were you playing at the same time as you were studying? Like, would you play during the day, study at night, or how did that work? How did you balance work and classes?
Yeah, how it went, I think we practiced maybe twice a week. We played on Saturday morning.
Okay.
So yeah, we played on Saturday morning. So we practiced maybe Tuesday, Thursday, and then played Saturday. But like regular colleges, you go to class, you go to practice, go to class, go to practice. There, we just like, because obviously people had jobs, and it was more of a hobby thing than an actual. So I still was able to like work out and train, and I had a job as well too because I was on a visa as well. So it was very humbling, like, and juggling, like when it comes to like working and doing the masters all in its own. Like I don't care what you do, who you're doing. Like once you're doing the masters, like that should take all your time because it's so hard. But to do that, play football, and then like my main goal was to have a certain marker of like yards, catches, touchdowns. So that was the biggest thing because I knew going to like that type of environment, my numbers had to be out of the roof.
So did you see yourself getting into apparel even without a career in professional football, or?
No, so I didn't think of this idea until I signed with the Chargers in July 2018. I think it clicked. Maybe the idea started to click in April, and I started to network and watch so many of these videos and see how branding and just more on the self-educational part, because once I went overseas, like it enlightened my brain expanded so much that all I wanted to do was learn.
When
So
you say April, you mean April 2018 or this
yeah,
past April?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So April 2018.
So you hadn't graduated yet then?
No, I graduated December 2017.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's
I
when I
gotcha.
came back home to Los
Gotcha.
Angeles. Yeah, I came back home to Los Angeles, and that's when it started hitting me. Because I didn't want it to be like a mom and pop, because everybody has a clothing line, like, that your friends wear, your auntie, your mom, whatever. But I didn't want something just like a fly-by-night thing. But I knew timing was of the essence, and I just had a really inkling, I had a real good inkling and like a feeling and belief that, God was going to bless me with opportunity for one of the NFL teams. And I just knew timing was so key. So I didn't want to do it prematurely because, like in business, timing is everything. If you do something too late or too soon, it can mess up the whole culture of what it represents. So I didn't launch it until the day after I signed. So obviously, with the whole exposure of the NFL's exposure, now my international market exposure, people all over, this. So I did that strategically, and it worked out perfectly. But if I would have did it when I wanted to in like June or something like that, it wouldn't have worked.
How do you do balancing out both right now?
Time management. I learned time management. Like everything that I've been through is like gearing me for the next level. Like I remember the first time when I was an undergrad, I was doing track, football, working, and doing 18 credits, and I knew after that, if I got through that, then I could do anything. And then once I did that, and I did time management when I went to lived in the UK, because that's a whole new country. So I had to learn on like fast, getting thrown in the pool. So like living in a whole new country is like vacationing and living is like two different platforms. So having to juggle traveling, the NBA, like time management was ridiculous. I had to like time my showers, my naps, my lunch. Like it was ridiculous. But once I learned the importance of time and time management, I knew like I could do anything. So it's like you have 24 hours. Like I learned that it's not no such thing as like night and day. You know what I mean? It's like it's 24 hours. So I buy like I for now like in the mornings, especially during this quarantine in the mornings, I dedicate myself to like yoga and working out of that nature. Then I eat, take a nap, rest, relax my brain, read, whatever, recover, and then do all the things like the framework when it comes to the different business ventures I have now. But with the clothing line, I don't have to do too much now because the message is so already out there, and you have social media and just I'm attacking LinkedIn, and then just like having that now of a global brand and recognition. It's not really I would have to do too much now, rather than what I had to do 2 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. First of all, when did you kind of gain this work ethic? Like, do you feel like you always had it, or do you think that it's something that you had to teach yourself?
No, I always say life is the greatest teacher. I mean, obviously you learn from your parents, your teachers, blah blah blah, but experience in life is like the biggest thing. I think going off to college, being on your own is like the biggest thing because it's like you have to compete against so many different players. And you still gotta get your education. You still gotta work. You know what I mean? You gotta learn new people. So I think just once I turned 18, I went off to college and like seeing other people doing the same thing I was doing as far as grinding and sleeping on couches and just like taking mediocre jobs and stuff like that. So I think just as time and life progressed, you just kind of learn that way.
Right. Who are some of those people who inspired you?
Celebrity-wise, I've always looked up to Mark Cuban and Sean Combs and also Ralph Lauren because they're not just a one niche. I've always liked Michael Jordan, Shaq, because, you start off, Magic Johnson, you start off at one pillar of like, let's say you're a painter or carpenter or David Beckham. He started off as soccer, right? And then he branched into modeling. He's branched off into, I think, architect and then entrepreneur. So I've always liked that. And I knew that, football was not always going to be guaranteed or was always going to last as long. Because growing up, I used to see guys like they make it to the league for about a year and a half, whatever, but don't have any other passions. So 2-3 years go by like fast, and now they're back to square one. So seeing that, I knew that I wanted to use that platform to build me to reach other pillars. Like when you see guys that play all these play for a long time and then they go into newscasting or they go into acting or they go. So using that platform that they have when they built from when their temperature was hot and then using it for different things. So I use the same methods.
So did you know you wanted to model your own line before it began, or did that just happen naturally?
Honestly, no. It was just, and in all due respect, obviously, like that's how life works and that's how business works. But the NFL brought so much to the table. So that was basically really what it was because like I tried to have so many meetings before and, you just couldn't connect with those certain type of people. But then once, I made it to the NFL, then like every door was open, like absolutely every door. So, I couldn't be bitter about it or, have any type of remorse or anything like that, but just taking it, knowing what it is and using it while your temperature is hot. So literally every meeting, handout, contact, whatever, using that and bettering it for myself. So that's honestly what it was. Once I signed with the Chargers, then LA Models reached out, and then I signed with them probably a week later, and then using my apparel to model and things of that nature. But the thing was for my brand, it was the original demographic was for like high school and college players that were going through what I was going through, being told they weren't good enough, things of that nature. But then as soon as I launched it, the demographic switched and the target market switched to, single mothers, doctors, people who've never played a sport, men, women, children of all ages. So I had to adjust quickly. So.
You're in Cali. You're from Cali, right? Originally?
Yeah, born and raised. Yeah, here in Los Angeles.
Wow, you made out pretty good. You had one stint in UK and you're back home doing your brand. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so that was the beauty of it.
Being in LA, how much different is it from your hometown? Or is it familiar with you? Like, have you been there your whole life, or you just?
Yeah, I've been here my whole life. So all high school, then I went to school in Pittsburgh, then London, and then playing football in Iowa and Texas. But my main location has been here in Los Angeles.
How was you said Pittsburgh, right? How was your change?
It was different because it was my first time obviously seeing snow. The different cultures of people when it comes to mindsets, politics, religions, upbringings, ethnicities. It was literally a total 180 from the diversity here here in Los Angeles, and even the climate diversity. it's very grassland out there where I was in Pittsburgh.
Nothing. It's just nothing but cornfields, right? It's
Yeah.
terrible. It's terrible. Especially driving through Pennsylvania, you see nothing. It's the
And
worst.
it's dark at night too. Here it's like pretty light. But like,
Yeah, you gotta-
it's extremely dark in the Midwest and the East
Mhm.
Coast.
And it's cold. Cold. Ugh.
Yeah, literally, it was a shocker. But I made friends, and like I said, I adjust to new things. But it was super different. I think, and that's what made me okay with going to another country because I already did it for 4 years.
Yeah.
So, like it would be different if I didn't move anywhere from Los Angeles and then trying to go to another country, then it would have been harder. But for me going to like Kansas to Pittsburgh, then it was easy.
I spent a semester in London in college, and everyone told me that it was going to be gray all the time, and I didn't really believe them. And then once you go, you realize it's constantly cloudy, constantly raining, constantly gray. It's kind of depressing.
Yeah, I think out of 52 weeks, you might get 4 weeks of sun, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Everything otherwise, it's the best city.
Yeah, like it was different because being from here, everyone is like very showy, entitlement, different here. But I feel like in the UK, everything was just chill, original, organic, just like an everyday life, simple.
Yeah, I think there's kind of like a common misconception that London is super similar to New York, let's say. Really, it's really more similar to Europe. It's not like America. It's an entirely different culture, but it's awesome. It's an awesome city. No one goes there and doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Did you travel a lot when you were there too?
Yeah, I was fortunate to go a lot of different places.
You have a
when
favorite?
I was there. My favorite was probably Monaco.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was like God's coloring book. Like it was so pretty. Like it was something like you see out of a movie. It looked more like edited, if that makes sense. But that was like gorgeous. But I've been to a lot of places. I was fortunate enough to go.
Did you get into soccer while you were there?
I tried. I went to Barcelona for a stadium visit.
Nice,
which was really nice.
Camp
And
Nou.
It was like soccer has no comparison when it comes to any other sport. Like when it comes to like baseball, basketball, because like when I went, you could see history from the 1800s. You know what I mean? Like they had historic facts about everything, and it was like such a huge stadium, and it brought so many different type of people. Just like the Great Wall of China, how it's such a monumental landmark. Those are how soccer stadiums are, in Europe, and they take it so seriously. I was able to go to one game, and I kind of kicked the ball around here and there, but I never got into it like that.
Not a watcher.
I mean, you had to, no choice. So, I mean, I didn't watch it like I turned it on, but I'd see it, several times.
So growing up in LA, did you, root for the Dodgers, Lakers?
I'm not really a baseball fan, but I always was always Laker fan, for sure.
Always Laker fan.
Ever since birth. Now, I'm a Clipper fan.
Really?
To be right, they're coming to your hometown.
Yeah, ever since LeBron came, I became a Clipper fan.
Wow.
Are you anti-LeBron?
Yeah, I don't think you can't be Kobe and LeBron, so.
Let's
Wow.
My
I'm
God.
Golden State.
expecting
Well, I
that.
was Golden State, but now I'm Clipper.
Wow.
My God. We're on the same wavelengths here. Let's go.
Okay,
So-
good.
So what about music-wise? Like, are you a Kendrick guy, strictly West Coast guy, or?
No, so when it comes to music, I'm very diverse, and I've always been like that. My dad is into music, but I've always had a sense of a music tone. I can go from rap to jazz to anything. My favorite artist of all time would be Sade, but I think I don't discriminate versus East Coast, West Coast type thing. I love music from Detroit, Africa, Jamaica, West India, everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I never got the East Coast, West Coast differentiation.
I mean, East Coast, Atlanta, Texas, they all have some really good music, especially here in the West Coast. It's more of a mood thing, you know what I mean? Like, what am I feeling like now?
Do you feel like the vibe from Pittsburgh? I know Pittsburgh's not really on the coast, But Pittsburgh versus LA, like, is the vibe different? Just the general mood?
Yeah, it's more. I'd say it's probably like 2 years behind, or when it was when I was there. As far as like music wise, just culture, originality, it was just behind, you know.
What do you mean when you say culture?
Just swagger and just mindset. Like I remember, I think I was 18 or 19. I think I was a sophomore. And it was really different because like I was in the suburbs of Pittsburgh, and I remember this one girl, this white girl. She came. She said she wasn't racist or anything. She was like, "This is the first time I've ever seen African Americans in real life."
What?
Yeah, and she's what 18, 19. So like,
Wow.
and that was that wasn't like the only one because where I went to school was like 90%, Caucasian. So it was such a huge drastic difference. Because like here in LA, it's like a bunch of different, diverse cultures, like a melting pot, just like in New York and Miami. But as far as like music wise, dancing, food was okay, but it's not that many cultures to have different types of foods, if that makes sense.
I feel like it's just like real like American food, like burgers, dogs, French fries, pizza.
Yeah, very like yeah. It didn't have like the diversity of different. See, like here in LA, you got people of all over. So you got people who want to eat healthy, they can't eat this, can't eat that. So like you have to have those type of.
Did you get a chance to go to any concerts overseas?
Yes, and it's crazy because the first time I went to the O2, which is like the Staples Center in London, I went to go see Drake.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy, like crazy. I seen they had a festival which is called Nottingham Festival, which is like a carnival. They have different like Afrobeat artists and UK artists, stuff like that. But it was like I can live in London for sure. Like the culture was like ridiculous
There's something for everyone in London.
for everyone, literally.
So what's the difference between live concerts there and here? Do you like it better there? Or?
It's the same as far as energy, maybe more energy.
More energy over there?
Maybe on the artist because it could be a lot of energy here, but maybe just like the artist. I think they'll treat an American artist a little better than American artists in America, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I know like A$AP Rocky, he thrives overseas more than he does here.
The crowds are so much bigger overseas too. They got the venues and stuff are just massive.
Yeah, unfortunately, not anymore. Or the next 2 years.
Yeah, that's just, how's everything holding up with you during this stuff?
Good, man. Just been getting, my mindset right. Still training and things like that, but resting, hanging out with family, and just getting a peace of mind. But everything, I have no complaints. Honestly, it's kind of been like the best time for me.
Yeah.
What's your honest opinion about the season? Do you think it's going to happen or?
It's hard to tell because it's like, here's the thing: there's no cure. You know what I mean? So it's like you can recover or whatever for 14 days, but they're not telling you how to recover. You just, I guess, sit at home or whatever. But it's like you can still get it again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, they're not stopping the season for flus and stuff like that. But this is just a new strand of a virus that is unattainable. So, and I don't know, man. I don't know. So,
You're supposed to be in camp right now, right? Isn't this camp time?
Not yet. It's more OTAs, like mandatory OTAs, but they're damn near. Damn near.
Did you see the masks that Oakley came out with, the prototype?
No, I did not.
So it came out that all 32 teams are testing out these Oakley things. It's like the visor, but it also goes down all the way with like 6 holes.
Yeah,
What
that's
is-
not gonna work.
What is the point of that? Like, if there's holes, then why?
Yeah, because the virus, you can't see. It's too microscopic. Like you can't see a virus. And
Nah.
especially that's the thing with football too. It's kind of like UFC. I don't know if they're still fighting or whatever, but like you're really
They
like
are.
spitting on each other and you know what I mean, sweating. So once you get tackled and knocked down, that virus and those feces and stuff like that, and just infections are still on the field. I mean, you can't see it, but like a football field is like really probably the nastiest place ever.
How do you feel about that? You could tackle someone, you could catch a ball, you could do everything in football, but you can't swap a jersey with
Yeah.
afterwards. How does that even make sense?
you can bleed and it doesn't. Because then, it's worse because if you, like, running back scrapes his arm and gets, like, infections or staph, whatever,
Yeah.
but you can't, like, swap. I don't know. They're going to change it
I hope they do. That's one of the best parts of the game.
in the locker room because everybody's locker room was kind of, like, in the same vicinity. So you
Mhm.
probably just walk and, like, meet them after the game.
Marcus, I'm not sure if you agree with me or not, but I'm kind of like, I miss sports. I miss them a lot, but I'm kind of more so like, what happens if like all these guys get it? Are we gonna have a season next year? Like, what's gonna happen? Would I rather sacrifice?
It's not gonna be pretty. I'll tell you what, because it's not. Let's take out the sports. Let's say if everyone gets it,
Mm-hmm.
you got 5 people. 5 people have it. 5 people have families. Now 20 people have it.
Yeah.
Those 20 people go to school or work. Now 50 people have it. So it's like it's too. I don't know. I think the thing with football is like basketball. You got 12 guys, 5 guys, so it's kind of limited. But with football, it's like the turnover in football because everybody's getting cut and interchanged every day. So it's like
In and out of the building and
in
everything.
and out of the building. There's literally a new human being in the NFL stadium and an office every day, guaranteed, 365.
And that's a lot. And like to think like you're more so worried about like like you said, these people have families and everything. So like what happens when they can't see their family because they have to quarantine now or they can't see their teammates? It doesn't seem like it's almost realistic. I want it to happen.
It's God knows not realistic. But here's the thing, and what I've learned living in the Europe versus here, America's so small, but America is built off of economic growth and empowerment. So even what the president said, like some people got to die then rather than get the economy. So everything is like economy driven. That's why they're like been pushing for the NBA because you lose so much revenue not having it. So like owners and corporations, they're not hearing the take time off because every time they take days off, they're losing masses of money. So it's kind of hard.
I was just going to say it's interesting that you bring up the NBA because I think the NBA is going to be the guinea pig basically to see if this can work. Because they have the bubble.
They have a league right now. It's called TBT. I've been watching. It's like a basketball thing. Yeah. So if they can do it, I know for sure NBA can do it.
Yeah, but it's hard. The NFL is harder. There's exactly, and there's so many more people per team. NBA, you just have a 12-man roster and I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 coaches. NFL, you have like 50 to 60 to 75 guys on the field for one team.
It's way more than that because if camp starts, let's say camp starts July 25th, right? And you got 91 guys. From July 25th to September 1st when they make those cuts. There's been maybe 200 guys on that roster.
It's a lot.
In a month because people are getting hurt, people are getting worked out. So it's not just 90 or 50 some guys. So that's the scariest part about this whole thing.
Mm-hmm. All that can't because you need to have because it's not like the old times where they went from 90 to 75 to 53. Straight 90 to the cut. So like all these people, especially in the locker room too, how are you going to spread up all these guys in the locker room?
Fuck no. And not even that. It's like I heard like because of Dory Jackson, he plays for Tennessee Titans, and I'm hearing they're not even having like hotels. You stay in hotels or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go.
Did you guys see the I don't know her name, but there was an Instagram model who tweeted something like, I already got asked to come to the bubble. There's no way this season is lasting. isn't getting cut short.
Yeah, she's from out here. She's
That's probably JR's. That's probably one of JR's girls.
I don't know. But I know exactly who that is. But yeah, I don't know. Like there's not like I think who said it? Stephen A. Smith said it. Like there's no way these guys are being deprived for to October. So they're gonna find ways. Girls are I don't know, but they're finding ways.
They got testosterone. They got their males. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna do what they have to do. It's you're right. Stephen A. Smith said it the best. This is gonna be like a 3-month thing. There ain't no way in hell they ain't gonna do this. So
yeah, one guy went to go like get Uber Eats, like pick up something like outside of the radius, and now he's got to quarantine for 10 days.
fuck out. Sorry. So get out of here, bro. Come on.
10 days. Yeah, like, so imagine you go onto your driveway and you're picking up something and it's like, oh, nope, 10 days.
10 days. So
That's ridiculous.
what does that happen? What does that happen with a guy in camp now? Sorry to go back to football, but when a guy in camp, what if a guy in camp gets it? Now everyone's going to quarantine on the team? I mean, that, like you said, I think it's going to be a real mess.
Dude, I know as much as you know because, like, scientifically, it's not going to make sense because, let's say if a corner gets it, that means all receivers need to be tested. So it's I don't know, man.
Best of luck to you do it, bro.
The experts are going to figure it out. But I tell you what, not even on a sports level, predicting, unfortunately, the last 6 months is going to be a little more difficult than the first.
Oh, 100%. I agree with you. I think
what makes you say that?
Just economically, politically, mental health wise, I don't see it being any better because now it's election time. Economic, because if you had a second wave, it's just.
It doesn't seem feasible to be any better.
To me, it doesn't, because now you're mixing COVID with flu season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now you're gonna be like, do I have COVID or do I have the flu? I don't know, man. Just really gotta stay prayed up and just ask God for just healing and help and just staying out the way. But other than that, we should be fine.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably not going to return to full normalcy until after there's a vaccine, and even then, probably there's gonna be kind of longer lasting consequences for the next year.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of people taking the vaccine because of what the flu shot does, and just as people educate themselves more, I don't see it getting back to normalcy till maybe 2022.
Yeah. And then we'll see.
By then, they'll have a whole different pattern. Like, when Uber came out, iPhone came out, Netflix came out, it's going to be like a different world,
Yeah, it's completely disrupting everything, 100%.
Yeah.
Has COVID had any impact on your clothing line?
A great impact, to be honest, because everybody's on their phone or their computer.
Yeah.
It's just been promotion of, LinkedIn, word of mouth. So I've generated, because it goes up and down when it comes to e-commerce.
Sure.
But the first 6 months, the last 6 months has really been really good for me in all aspects. So, especially when it comes to my clothing line, because all I do, is self-promote or like have word of mouth, things of that nature, who can resonate with what the brand represents. And for me, it's like a click of a button. For everybody, it's a click of a button.
For sure.
I'm gonna buy something tonight.
Oh man, and it's not like, because everybody has shorts, shirts, you can have whatever, but it's the message that resonates with everyone, because it's like as you're brushing your teeth, like I get like 50 messages almost all the time. Like I probably get like 20 messages a day of inspirational messages of how certain things has helped them, and globally. Like I went today, I shipped merchandise to Jerusalem. Like that was my first time in Jerusalem. So it's international, but that was my first time in Jerusalem, so that was very humbling.
So that's definitely humbling. It's like a different feeling. It has to be like.
Yeah, I mean, like it definitely have hit other countries, but like as far as like Jerusalem itself, to me that was more of a humbling to see like how vast internet and a word can spread in today's time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. How quickly too.
Yeah.
Do you wanna just give us maybe some parting thoughts? Any pieces of advice you want to leave with us?
Yes.
Let's go.
One thing I live with now, so I'm 27 now. The biggest mantra I live with right now is you don't get your 20s back. What I mean by that is I wouldn't take anything back. If I had to start over and do it all again, I'd do exactly everything I would, as far as working those 14-hour shifts at moving companies so I can like pay the rent, so I can go to summer workouts, traveling to another country, getting told no, because I've learned so much and I've done so much for that to set me up mentally for the future. You know what I mean? Like everything I've done so far, I was not taking for anything granted. So what I mean by you don't get your 20s back is like sleep on those couches, email 50 people a day, self-education, sacrificing friendships, relationships, eating crap food. If you know what your why is, and like you're young, you're not going to get this time back if you have like children or marriage or basically big responsibilities. Like you're not going to get this time when you're 30 or 40 and 50. So sacrifice and do everything you need to do in your 20s because you have the energy, you have the time, you have the youthfulness. And so that's one of the biggest things I want to exhaust in my 20s. Another thing is like we only live once. So like whatever your plan A is, just focus on that because if you work something you don't want to do or passion, God forbid, if you pass on Friday, they'll find somebody Monday. So, live a life that you want to live and just sacrifice. Because not only are you just sacrificing, but you're sacrificing for yourself. And nobody in the world is going to ever sacrifice for your goals and your dreams. Awesome. And one thing I did learn, one more thing is I learned meeting with Gary Vee. It's like, you've got time. A lot of things are like, time's so short. But it's like, it is, but it really isn't at the same time. You know what I mean? Because I can't remember how long ago, 27 years ago was. Like, that was a long time ago. I don't care what anybody says. You know? And, like, we put such this stigma of before I'm 30, before I'm 25, before I'm 21, I need to do this. And, like, the internet rushes us. But it's like we have time. So, like, really taking the time to figure out yourself first. And that is the biggest key. Because you can't maneuver and do all these things if you're not right internally first. So those would be my key pointers.
Absolutely.
I think those are some very wise words. We appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much.
Real quick, Marcus, do you have any social media links or any website links you want to shout out?
Yeah, so I have Instagram, which is Marcus T. Peterson. So Marcus T as in Timothy Peterson. Also my apparel brand, which is MP Motivational Apparel. And also Facebook, LinkedIn, Google, Marcus Peterson.
Awesome. Marcus, thank you so much for joining us, man. We'd love to have you back sometime.
Thank you, guys. We really appreciate it.
All right. Before we wrap it up, do you guys want to do a little draft?
Yeah, let's go. Let's run it.
All right. So today's draft, we're going to actually draft cereals. So I'm going to randomize the list right now. The order is Stevie is Miles. So, Stevie, I think we said we're going to do 3 rounds. If we want to add a 4th round at the end, we could always do that. But let's start with 3. Stevie, you're up.
Oh, wow. First overall,
101. What do you got?
It's a lot of pressure here. I think I'm going to have to go Fruit Loops.
Ooh. All right.
So now my turn. I'm going to go with Lucky Charms. I say Lucky because of how versatile they are.
They're so versatile. You could have them. You could get them to be healthy if you just take the marshmallows out.
Yep, and you also can make Rice Krispie treats out of them, and they're the best Rice Krispie treats in the world. So give me those.
You killed that pick. All right. I'm gonna definitely take Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Nice.
Baby, love that.
And oh god, I wanted Lucky Charms so badly. I
was actually thinking Lucky Charms first overall. It was between Fruit Loops and
Lucky Charms is so good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles. All right.
Are you a guy that likes soggy cereal at the end?
I love soggy cereal. I love colorful milk at the end too.
All right, so I'm up. I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna save this one because I don't think you guys are gonna pick it. So I'm gonna say Tricks.
All right.
Solid.
Has to be the Tricks for when they had the shapes, not the circle ones. Like
What?
Right.
old school like shapes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got you.
What
So-
shapes did they have?
it's like the shapes of the fruit. You know,
You don't remember that?
you don't remember that?
Not really.
See? This is what I mean. They had
Dude,
the circles for too long.
I
They
did
just
not.
brought the shapes.
I did not have a lot of sugary cereal as a kid. Anytime I went on vacation with my family, I looked forward to it because my mom always brought those small travel-sized pouches of the of the cereal, and that was the only time that I had sugary cereal.
I've been that fat eater my whole life, so.
So I'm rounding it out here. Well, rounding mine out here, right?
Yeah, you get 2.
Okay. 1, I'm going honeycomb.
Oh,
Wow.
Honeycomb is delicious. Delicious. Very underrated. They don't advertise anymore, which is ridiculous. Their commercials were awesome. Everything about it is awesome. It's just delicious. I could eat it out of the box, no milk, whatever. Number 2 for me here, I think I'm gonna go Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, it's a good pick. I'm honestly surprised Cocoa Puffs got to the third.
Yeah.
I don't like chocolate. I'm not a big chocolate guy, so like just having fucking Cocoa Puffs is too much for me. But I'm not putting it on my list, but I do like Reese's Puffs a lot.
Reese's Puffs are
I was
fabulous.
thinking about taking them, so good thing you're not.
It's a good thing, because I can't put them in my top 3. No, sir. I'm going to go Captain Crunch Berries for number 3.
Captain Crunch is so good, and I can't believe I forgot about Captain Crunch. The Captain Crunch in the Munchies bag, is that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Though, for some reason, that Captain Crunch is the best Captain Crunch.
Oh, it is. It's because you take a handful out, and then it's like all like Cheetos and like all the other, and they're like, oh damn, like, and then you put it in your mouth and you're like, oh, what is that? It's like, yeah, it's Captain Crunch.
Yeah, it's like sweet and salty. All right, I can get with this.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a really good pick. So I got Fruity Pebbles, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Oof. I'm torn here because part of me wants to go super sweet, and part of me wants to get something a little less sweet, given that I already have 2 sweet things.
Mm-hmm.
Are you thinking like a Honey Nut Cheerios or something?
I'm actually thinking, and I'm going to draft Corn Puffs.
Corn Puffs.
Corn Puffs?
Wait.
So good.
Corn
Are
Puffs.
those the same thing as Pops?
I don't think I know what Pops are.
Pops are kind of. It's like nothing on the inside. They're hollow.
Yeah.
But Corn Puffs were like, it's like probably the off-brand of them. Corn Puffs so good.
We can definitely do a 4th round, but it's up to
I
you
think so
guys.
too. I'm
Calm
ready.
down.
I got
Calm
my.
All right, then my next pick is Cookie Crisp.
Oh.
I'm not even going to hesitate on this 4th one because I'm going to say Apple Jacks.
Nice. That's a good pick. You killed this draft, Is.
Those.
I definitely did this with my choice, knowing I'm going to win this shit.
Those are two legends right there. I was gonna take Cookie Crisp. All right.
Cookie Crisp is dessert, basically. It's
just
not
cookies.
it's not breakfast. It's just cookies.
It's just cookies.
With
It's literally cookies. I'll go original Cheerios then. Just regular
Second
Cheerios. You got it.
No one took Frosted Flakes. Oh my god.
Nobody took Frosted Flakes. Frosted Flakes are a little too sweet for me. I'll be honest. A little too sweet.
I put sugar in my Frosted Flakes.
That's
Not sweet enough for it.
It's excessive.
Did we miss any? Did we miss any good ones?
Miles, I'm not
They
lying.
do?
They make Sour Patch cereal. Look,
That's
who has shit?
gross.
It's
That's-
disgusting. I'm
That's
never
gross.
From my morals, I will not try Sour Patch cereal. No way. Will not put milk in Sour Patch. No.
There's no way that's good.
Can't be good.
All right,
we missed Rice Krispies.
Rice Krispies. Oh my god, Snap Crackle Pop, baby.
I wasn't a
We
big
missed-
Krispy cereal guy.
But I love listening to it. I honestly do. That's the best part of it.
That was the cool part. And then,
Yeah.
but like I said, it's soggy cereal after a second.
It's very soggy cereal. Count Chocula? That's
Count
not really...
Chocolate. Raisin
really-
Bran.
Yeah, we did miss Raisin Bran. You're right.
We missed Bootios.
Bootios. You're right. Isn't that WWE? Who are those guys?
Let me look that up real
I
quick.
don't even know what that is. I've never heard that in my life.
It's just these guys, these wrestlers. I don't even know what the deal is.
It's like all marshmallows too.
There's Wheaties. We didn't say Wheaties.
Wheaties.
Yeah, it's the 3 wrestlers. It's like
Is Kofi Kingston one of them?
Kofi Kingston's one of them. I'm looking at him right now. I know Kofi Kingston just became the champion. Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods. That's it.
Oh, Xavier Woods. I remember him.
Have you ever had chocolate toast crunch? Sounds gross.
No.
Oh, Frosted Mini Wheats.
Yeah,
Wheaties?
Frosted Mini Wheats.
Yeah,
Those are really
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
That's the best healthy cereal for sure.
I feel like those
Yeah.
are fighting as a cardboard.
Yeah. But flavored cardboard.
But it's healthy.
All right. Do you guys want to run through our teams? Stevie,
Yeah.
you're first.
All right, so I got Fruit Loops, Honeycomb, Cocoa Puffs, and Cheerios.
So it's Trix, Apple Jacks, Captain Crunch, and wow, oh my God,
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms. So Lucky Charms, Trix, Apple Jacks,
Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch. Wow, I keep working. I'm done.
All right, I got Fruity Pebbles, Cinnamon Toast Crunch,
Cookie Crisp.
and Corn Puffs.
Yeah.
All right, that'll do it for today's show. You can vote for who you thought won that draft. We will post that on Twitter at It's the Crossover. You can check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/thecrossover, Instagram at The Crossover, and our website, itsthecrossover.com. That's ITSTHECROSSOVR.com. Thank you so much to Marcus Peterson. Thought that was a really awesome conversation. Looking forward to hopefully talking to him soon. Anything else to add, you guys?
Take this L in cereals, baby.
All right. Peace out.